Hello Red Devils, MUF Solution here and I'm back in the video. So Manchester United, we beat RB Leipzig 5-0 and in my opinion that performance was absolutely incredible. The way we played that match from start to finish was incredible, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the players deserve huge credit for that game, because I was not just me, but no one was expecting us to beat Leipzig 5-0, and the manner in which we did it was absolutely brilliant, and I'm really pleased with that performance. But hopefully the performances that we have put in against PSG and Leipzig gives us confidence going into the match against Arsenal, because United have tended to get good results and then mix that up with a bad result. So PSG we beat them, Leipzig we beat them, Chelsea we drew 0-0, even though we should have beat them. In my opinion, we played much better than Chelsea and we deserve to win that game. But obviously Mendy made incredible saves. So it would be United's way recently to lose against Arsenal, because that's the way our consistency has been, or sorry, our lack of consistency has been, because we've won a couple of games in a row and then we have a shock defeat. For example, last season where we lost against teams that we should have lost against. So it would be in our script to lose against Arsenal, but hopefully we need to start changing that. We need to become more consistent. And Arsenal recently, although they have been getting decent results, the performances, they've just parked the bus and counter-attack. That's what Arteta's done, and in my opinion, we do struggle against teams that do park the bus like that, and Arsenal, they do that really really well now. So the defensive stability that Arteta has brought into Arsenal, it's really good that he's actually transformed them into a good defensive side. However, we have struggled against that, and we would be wary to break teams down like that. Obviously, against teams that attack, we've destroyed them. So against Paris Saint-Germain, they attack, we get more space. On the counter-attack, we score more goals. And against Leipzig as well, there was so much space in behind them. And Rashford, his hat-trick, shown how much space there was behind them, because every time he got the ball, he just ran at the defense, and he had a lot of space to go into. So against those type of teams, we obviously will win. That's why we have a good, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the team has a good big team record. When you do play big teams that play expansive football, we do tend to win. We don't tend to lose that many games. And the Spurs one being a shock result, that one. But in my opinion, we weren't fit. The players weren't ready to play that match. And I do defend them, because that performance, we can see the clear difference, in match sharpness, fitness now than we did before against Crystal Palace and Spurs. So going into this match, I'm not confident, because as I said before, when we play teams that defend like Arsenal do, we do struggle. So that's why I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will pick this team specifically to help break down the team. And obviously in tight spaces, these type of players that I'm going to predict right now can help us. So let's get straight into the predicted lineup for Manchester United against Arsenal. So David De Gea in goal. Now De Gea made a fantastic save against Leipzig, and in my opinion, David De Gea is back. He's made no mistakes recently and he's looking very very good, very sharp, and I'm really happy that David De Gea has rediscovered his form that saw him obviously voted as the best goalkeeper in the world. So I would love to see David De Gea continue his consistency and become the rock, the stability that he has been for Man United for many years. So David De Gea in goal. Now the defence, Alex Telles unfortunately has picked up coronavirus, so he will not be playing for the foreseeable, I think next 2 games probably he will be out. So that's disappointing, because Alex Telles was incredible against Paris Saint-Germain. And I would love to see a Telles start for us, but unfortunately, obviously, he has to quarantine, and he's tested positive for coronavirus. So I think Luke Shaw will obviously start in the left back position. Now Luke Shaw, he's very two-sided player. He can play really really good a couple of matches, and then he can play really really bad in the other couple of matches. So Luke Shaw, we don't know which type of Luke Shaw will turn up, but the competition that Telles has come in and provided has springboarded Luke Shaw to start producing some good performances, some decent performances. Although he's a bit more, held back, he needs to be more attacking. But Luke Shaw left back, obviously, because we don't really have another left back now. Centre backs, I'm going to go with Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. So I do think these two will play. Against Leipzig, they were okay. They did well. I think Lindelof played better than Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire gets turned a lot, and he gets running behind a lot. So he needs to sort that out. But also, he does push up high up the pitch. Maguire gets caught out of position many times. He needs to sort that out as well. He needs to stay back, stay in your position. Don't go all the way into midfield trying to win a header, because Maguire, when he does that, there's so much space left behind in the defence. So he needs to sort that out. Lindelof, in my opinion, he's been really, really good this season. He's not really struggled that much. Oh, sorry, the last couple of games, he's not really struggled that much. So Victor Lindelof, and obviously Wan-Bissaka, he's rediscovered his form. His attacking capabilities is increasing day by day, game by game. But defensively, we all know he's one of the best defenders in the Premier League. So Wan-Bissaka. Now the midfield, this is where I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should continue where we left off against Leipzig. So play the diamond formation. It's working at the moment, and he's found a formation that does fit the players that we have really, really well. The qualities, it brings out everyone's qualities together. So in my opinion, stick with it. Don't change it. Don't change the formation because it's working at the moment. Something's clicked. We are playing really, really good. So I would just stick with it, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will. So Fred, centre defensive mid. Now Fred had an incredible game against Leipzig. He was everywhere. He was popping left, right, centre, breaking up the play. Helping to set up goals, passing it, laying it to Paul Pogba and the midfielders like Van de Beek. He was intercepting and passing really, really well. So I would like to see Fred continue in the midfield alongside Paul Pogba. In my opinion, Pogba was incredible, fantastic, brilliant against Leipzig. His pressing, running up and down the pitch, working for the team, working hard. That's the type of Paul Pogba performance that I want to see week in, week out. He was incredible. And hopefully, Paul Pogba can continue that form that he showed in the last couple of games. Although he has been coming off the bench, he did start against Leipzig. In my opinion, he deserved it. He's been incredible, and he deserves to start against Arsenal, because whenever Paul Pogba does play against Arsenal, he does really, really well against them. So Paul Pogba, left centre mid. Now, some people want to see McTominay. However, as Arsenal will defend more than attack, I would like to see Van de Beek play, because we need to break the team down. And Van de Beek, against Leipzig, he was incredible in my opinion. He was all over. He was, running in the channels, running in the spaces, making spaces for our other players to run into. Very class player, 1-2 touch football. His football IQ is incredible, and I would love to see Van de Beek continue. It would be a shame to drop Van de Beek, in my opinion, after his performance against Leipzig. Van de Beek, he deserves to start a couple of games in a row, get his confidence up, get him playing well. But Leipzig, he was incredible, so I would start him. I don't see a reason why Van de Beek should get dropped. And obviously Bruno Fernandes was rested against Leipzig, so he will slot straight into the centre attacking mid position. Bruno Fernandes' ball when he came out to Marcus Rashford was brilliant. I love that ball for Bruno Fernandes. That ball that Fernandes did, that forward pass, that forward thinking player, that's what Bruno Fernandes has brought into the team. His stats for this season are already incredible. I think he's created the most chances in the Premier League. Or he's made the most key passes in the Premier League. And Bruno Fernandes, I'm really happy that United did buy him, because he's incredible. He shows it game in, game out. Even though he loses the ball like 10 times a match, he creates moments of magic that no other player that can do for us. And I love Bruno Fernandes. He's an absolutely brilliant player. Now the front two, this is where I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will tweak it a bit. So Mason Greenwood played against Leipzig. He started against Leipzig, and his goal against Leipzig was really, really good. Very composed, calm finish. I do think against Arsenal, because they do play 3 at the back and they have very strong defenders. So did Leipzig, to be honest, but I do think we need a target man. So I would like to see Edinson Cavani get his first start against Arsenal, because we need a target man, because Arsenal will break, they will park the bus. They will not attack like Leipzig did, because Leipzig attacked, it left space for Greenwood to run into, and that's where the goal came from. Fred won the ball in the pitch, Pogba ran forward, and there was so much space for Greenwood to run into. He ran past the defenders and scored. So Man United, we need a target man, and against Arsenal they're gonna park the bus. Like they have been in the last couple of games, and we do need Cavani. We need someone that can hold the ball up. So Edinson Cavani, I would love to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer start him. And obviously Marcus Rashford, came on against Leipzig, scored a hat-trick, absolutely incredible. Marcus Rashford is the first player since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come in as a substitute and score a hat-trick, which is absolutely incredible, knowing that Solskjaer is the manager. So Rashford, he has been on form, he's been on fire lately, and I would like to see that continue. So Edinson Cavani and Marcus Rashford up front. Now, some of you might be thinking, where's Anthony Martial? I think this is Martial's last game of suspension from the Premier League, because obviously he got red carded. So Martial is red carded. I would obviously rest Greenwood, bring him off the bench against Arsenal. But I would love to see this team. So David De Gea, Luke Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Van de Beek, Pogba, Fernandes, Edinson Cavani, and Marcus Rashford. So let me know what you think about this team in the comments below. Score predictions, I'm going to say, it will be a tough match. Some people are predicting an easy match. It won't be an easy match because Arsenal, defensively, they have been really, really good. I know the counter-attack with Aubameyang, Lacazette, Saka, Pepe, even if they start, Willian, they could be, they could cause us some problems. So I'm going to say it's a tight match. I don't think I can score. Let's do a score prediction. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester United. I do think we'll concede. I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be an even Steven match, but then we'll get one moment of brilliance. That will obviously help us win the game, I think. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester United. Let me know your score predictions down below. Let me know your teams down below. What changes would you make to this team? Do you agree with this team? Let me know. Obviously, I read your comments. You all know I read the comments. I love the feedback that you give me. I love the comments that you make. So yeah, please leave them in the comments below. It's been MUF Legend. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.